All right, earlier this month, the Atlanta City Council approved an ordinance requiring reflective roofing materials on new buildings and major roof replacements. The move aims to combat urban rising of heat, improve public health, and reduce energy consumption across the city. Here now to talk about those cool roofs is Ronak Basu. He is the assistant professor at Georgia Tech in the School of City and Regional Planning. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Chesley. It is a pleasure to join you and all of the 11Alive viewers this morning.
All right, yeah, we appreciate you being here. So explain to me what the cool roof concept is all about.
Yeah, so the cool roof ordinance is requiring all new and replacement roofs to be built with what we would call light colored reflective materials, which are commonly known as cool roofs. These materials help reflect more sunlight and absorb less heat than standard roofs. And as a result, roof temperatures are going to be lower, and potentially we might see lower energy costs for cooling buildings, even indoors.
So you're talking about mainly on newer buildings or ones that have major repair. We have a lot of buildings here, right? Eventually, will we look to replace all of them?
Ideally, we would want cool roofs or any sort of cooling materials to be installed on building rooftops, but why stop just there? So this is a step in the right direction, but we have a lot of pavement, right? So we have parking lots, we have sidewalks, we have roads, and there's an opportunity to also install what we call cool pavement materials, which some cities are doing, but we haven't really seen a lot of that happening here in Atlanta.
Gotcha. So explain to us now, we get the concept, you got a lighter color roof, maybe it reflects some of the sun rays back off into the atmosphere a little bit there, but how does it help us breathe easier or help our health here at the surface?
Yeah, so what happens is as more sunlight is being reflected back and less heat is being absorbed, it also helps us reduce the amount of smog and ozone that's being trapped. So it just helps us with creating better air quality. And especially when we talk about cool pavements, not so much about cool roofs, which are much higher up than we would normally be walking or biking. But when you think about cool pavements, that directly affects our experiences as we walk or bike around or as we move around. And that helps us breathe better air. It helps us feel cooler, and it also makes it more comfortable to get around.
I'm all for comfort. I am all for comfort. And how do you balance the concerns of a homeowner or builders who just want what's affordable or familiar?
So the thing with cool roofs, as with any sort of new technology, is that when the technology is new, sometimes the installation costs can be on the higher side. But in the long term, cool roofs are actually going to be saving people money. And that's because they help us keep the indoor temperatures lower. So your energy costs in terms of paying for air conditioning or utilities, that's going to be lower in the long run. And I think what we could do at both the city and also at the state level is provide incentives for people to install solar panels, install cool roofs, and similar initiatives.
Is there a model for this where maybe it has been done already, where people have seen lower utility bills and things like that, or healthier environments? Have we seen that already?
Oh, yes. Chicago is considered a pioneer. They adopted this in 2008 following a major heat wave. So we have over a decade of experience to draw from. There are other cities with hot climates such as Los Angeles or Scottsdale, Arizona, that have also been doing this. And on the East Coast, we are familiar with not just temperatures that are high, but also humidity, right? Places like New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and now I'm very glad that Atlanta can also be counted in that list. We have to balance what we call the heat index, or a combination of temperature and humidity.
Right.
And these are ways to get there. We're not the first, unfortunately, but we are certainly not going to be the last. And there's a wealth of experience out there that we can draw on.
Do you expect this to spread throughout the metro area, not just it's being a downtown type of a situation?
Ideally, we would want to look at building energy demand, so looking at buildings that are using up a lot of energy, and we'd want to target those, right? So we want to phase it out. We're not going to be able to tackle every single building all at once. So we want to look at the highest impact areas that would give us the greatest benefit. And also thinking about cool pavements, for instance, we want to be looking at corridors where you have a lot of people who are walking, biking, using public transportation, so who are out there and exposed to the elements. So we have to be looking at where are the people which buildings are consuming the most energy. And if we target those areas and buildings, that's going to give us the biggest bang for our buck.
Lastly, what would you say to those people that say this is kind of a small fix to maybe a bigger climate issue?
I think that is certainly a fair point. The bigger climate issue requires all hands on deck, and we need to be looking at it from different perspectives. So what we are talking about right now is just from the perspective of building infrastructure. We have to be also thinking about our energy usage. We have to be thinking about transportation. That's the biggest contributor to greenhouse gases. We have to be thinking about how we move around. Several other what we would call urban systems that are all connected, that all affect our quality of life, public health outcomes, and we need these little initiatives that all come together. So there isn't going to be a single solution. There isn't a silver bullet out there, but collectively through multiple different initiatives and efforts, we can get there.
Ranu Basu, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. We can certainly use this cool stuff now. It's hot outside, my friend.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We are doing a lot of cool research, no pun intended, on this topic at Georgia Tech. So hopefully folks are going to be interested in learning more. Thanks for having me again, Jesse.
All right, take care.